This video is a re-upload of an old story, but this time using a different narration, seeing as people found the old voice quite unpleasant. I hope this voice will be more soothing to your ears. Now please enjoy. Which Archon will pay? After several centuries of the Archons not meeting, Venti, Zhongli, Raiden, and Nahida decided to have dinner at Li Wei. They included Furina with them, seeing her as a person worthy of the Archon status. They had fun talking and catching up, telling stories about their own nations. And although millennia had passed since they last met, it was as if they were never apart. Before they knew it, they had finished eating all of their food at the restaurant, being satisfied as Xiangling the professional chef cooked for them. They then suddenly realize something. Who pays for the food? Raiden says it was a nice dinner, and gets up to leave, stating that Miko must be waiting for her. But then they remind her that they still have to pay. She then sits back down, realizing her mistake. However, she says she doesn't have any mora on her. She got used to her servants giving her everything for free, and forgot that it doesn't work that way in Li Wei. Venti agrees with Raiden, claiming he also can't pay, because he's too poor at the current moment. Furina sides with them, saying she also can't pay, not having much mora, as artists like her and Venti don't get paid nearly enough. Venti agrees, but they both know that it's also largely due to their bad spending habits. Nahida then mentions that she assumes someone else would pay, having read it's customary in the city of contracts for the host to pay for the food, which is why she didn't bring along any mora. Everyone then looks at Zhongli, the host. He hesitantly apologizes, forgetting his wallet for the 100th time, and already using up the amount of mora he can get from Hu Tao. He then remembers Tartaglia, only to realize that he is now in Snezhnaya, and it'll take 2 months for him to get there. Venti remarks that he's fine with that, they'll just have to wait then, with some reluctance. Furina refuses, saying there's no way she'll wait that long, and complains about how can literal Archons not have mora. They all then stare awkwardly, Nahida breaking the silence by admitting she has never needed mora, as everything is given to her for free, and it is likely the same for the others. Raiden fully agrees with that statement, standing up from her chair, planning to tell Xiangling that they're all Archons, so it's only right their food should be given for free. Venti and Zhongli luckily stop her in time, saying they're currently undercover, and are no longer treated as Archons by their people. Zhongli also states that it would be very disrespectful if they did that, not after eating such good food. Raiden looks on in confusion, but respects their request, and they go back to their seats. Furina sighs, and ends up writing a letter to Neuvillette, saying to come to Li Wei for a special emergency. Nahida thinks there must be some other way, wondering if they can pay with something else of equal value, like a talent or performance. Venti jumps in excitement, mentioning it's not a bad idea, and brings out his lyre to perform a song for Xiangling. She claps for the beautiful performance, but ends up refusing to give them the food for free. Venti then suggests playing a song for the other customers instead. Surely someone would enjoy his melodic tunes, and give him mora as a reward. Zhongli quickly turned him down, stating that his performance would not fit the atmosphere of the restaurant, as they're not in a tavern. Besides, he adds that there's a very high chance they'd get kicked out if he drew too much attention. In her mind, Raiden wonders that isn't their entire goal to leave the restaurant, so why not go with that idea? Nahida just stares at her. Zhongli says he'll also give it a try, and tells the chef that he could tell her stories about Li Wei, and where the menu's food originates, if they give them a special discount. She says she'd love to hear them, but politely rejects his offer. Raiden then sees her polearm, having thought of something, and promises to give Xiangling training lessons without charge, if their dinner is on the house. She'd love to learn more martial arts, but rejects her proposal, claiming to already have a master. Raiden then states that she is an expert with a polearm, and definitely has far better skill than whoever her master is. After all, she's an... Zhongli clears his throat, and Raiden, realizing her mistake, just retreats, apologizing for her insistence. Nahida then thinks it's worth a shot, and tries to pay using knowledge. She says to Xiangling the most mind-blowing information she knows. Did you know that the best way to cure anxiety is to take a duk-duk? The chef was too stunned to speak. She was very confused, but was unimpressed in the end. Nahida then gets sad, stating that knowledge is perhaps not as valuable to others. Furina then whines in frustration. The human then says, that looks like she'll have to come to the rescue, and begins writing a script for a short play, with the Archons being actors. They very much don't want to do it, but with Furina's insistence, and seeing no other options, they agreed. Meanwhile, Neuvillette receives Furina's letter, and angrily starts swimming toward the nation of contracts. Furina directed the entire thing, with Zhongli doing most of the narration, Venti occasionally playing background music, Raiden's parts mostly about combat, and Nahida using her powers to keep Xiangling in a time loop. She did that in the case that if they ever messed up, she would just go back in the cycle until they had a performance that was absolutely perfect. She would also read her mind, to adjust a performance exactly to her tastes. She only ever used her powers if it was absolutely necessary, and this was one of those cases. The five then quickly rehearsed in the restaurant, getting weird looks from the other people eating, until they were eventually ready to perform. They did a reenactment of the Archon War, Furina seeing as they would naturally be in their element. Xiangling loved their performance, and applauded the actors for their very realistic portrayal of the characters. In natural instances, she would have given them the food for free, but she states that their bill is just so high. They ordered way too much, and she'd be in big trouble if the owners realized their restaurant suffered a huge loss in profit. She's just a stand-in for them after all. Defeated and frustrated, they resort to blaming each other. They blame Venti for ordering too much alcohol, with him arguing that it was the Geo Archon's fault for ordering too many side dishes. He defends himself by saying it's from a limited special menu, and notes that overall, the desserts had the highest total. Raiden and Furina claim that it's only natural the desserts were the highest. It's the best part of the meal after all. And then they pointed at Nahida, only to realize she had done nothing wrong, having ordered the least. They are then ready to fight, prepared to make the play about the Archon War become a permanent reality. Suddenly, Neuvillette enters through the door, absolutely soaking wet. Their savior has come to the rescue. He quickly finds their table, not even bothering to look at them in the eyes, saying to Xiangling that he'll pay for the entire meal. The four Archons rejoice in celebration, but quickly leave the restaurant, before they anger the Chief Justice even more, or before he takes back the offer to pay for them. Good decision, as he was absolutely dumbfounded when he found out the total amount of mora that the five of them owed. Furina just smiles at him awkwardly, promising that he'll ask the Archons next time to bring water from their respective nations, as a gift for his wonderful act of kindness. Neuvillette just says, ask them to bring their wallet instead. At the same time in Natlan, Mavuika is reminiscing about the past, reading the letters the other Archons have sent her. She knew about their usual gatherings but couldn't attend herself, as she had been too busy protecting her nation and dealing with the Abyss. They must be having so much fun, she thought. Now, with Natlan being much safer, she realizes she has far more freedom. She considers finally joining the Archons the next time they meet, before walking away from her quarters. Well, one thing's for sure, she muses. If she does make the effort to join them, it better be their treat. The end. Thank you all so much for watching. If you ended up enjoying this video, please subscribe and give a like, so you can see more videos like these in the future. Bye.